Greetings, friends. George Akron here from Renovator Ministries. And I want to talk to pastors today. You know, about 7 months ago, I went to a conference out in Wichita, Kansas, the Apprentice Conference. Fantastic conference. I recommend it highly. It's going to be again in Wichita this September, and there'll be more information coming on our website about that. But during that conference, on the second day, the last speaker, she talked on personal transformation. And she began her talk by unpacking some statistics from a survey done at the Fuller Theological Seminary Pastors Conference about 5 years ago. They surveyed 1,100 pastors. And the Francis Schaeffer Institute published this survey just in the past two years or so. And here's what they found. They found that 90% of pastors stated they're frequently fatigued and worn out on a weekly basis. They found that 89% of the pastors surveyed, now they surveyed 1,100, and 89% surveyed considered leaving the ministry at one time. 57 of those said they would leave in a second if they had a better place to go. 81% of the pastors said there was no regular discipleship program or effective effort of mentoring their people in their church. 81% of these pastors had no discipleship program, no apprenticeship program to Christ in their church. 77% of the pastors surveyed felt they didn't have a good marriage. 75% of the pastors felt they were unqualified or poorly trained by their seminaries. 72% of the pastors surveyed said they only read the Bible for work-related activities. 72%. 71% said they were burned out, battling depression. 38% said they had been divorced or were currently in a divorce proceeding. 38%. And 30% said they had either had an affair or had a one-time sexual encounter with a parishioner. Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder that the relevance of the church today has been so diminished? We have shepherds that are so beaten down, there is no words for that. And here at Renovator Ministries, if we're not part of the solution, we're part of the problem. This grieves our soul beyond words because we know the church, and Christ is the head of that church, is the only hope for the world. So we're going to do something about it. And actually, we've been doing something about it. For the last year, we've been piloting full-day retreats, prayer retreats, scriptural meditation retreats, times of good solitude and silence where you can refresh, restore, renew, redeem who you are, what your call is in Jesus. It's time to come out of the shadows, Pastor. Our retreats that we offer, just for pastors, center around a 4-step outline. First, surrendering agendas. Second, declaring your intentions. Third, embracing your brokenness and the forgiveness of Christ once again. And then a good deal of time waiting on God. Wait upon the Lord through His Word and through His Spirit. And lastly, coming out on the other end with abundance. Now that abundance might also mean the Lord clearly telling you it's time to move on. But wouldn't you rather move on in victory than move on in defeat as a pastor and despair and just kind of walk away with your head hung low, but knowing clearly that you're either to continue, restored, renewed, or maybe this isn't what you're supposed to be doing, but you walk away in victory. Now we're going to be thoroughly unpacking what this retreat looks like. That's in the outline in a text blog in the next 48 to 72 hours. Now before I go, I want to leave you with one quick story. About 10, 12 years ago, I was at a pastor's conference. I was working at a pastor's conference for a large megachurch. We were in Germany. And I was on my lunch break after the morning sessions. And I was just getting ready to get up when a pastor came, asked me if he could sit at my table, and I said, sure, absolutely. And this guy pulled up the truck and began dumping the truck, which is fine, telling me that his ministry is a failure. It's time for him to reconsider maybe. His people should despise him. There's no way his people can like him. He's not a leader. He's just getting by day. So we've talked through those things. We've worked through those things for a good hour. Prayed with him about that. And he had a smile on his face as I got up. And as I got up, he grabbed my wrist. He says, George, wait 1 minute. Sit back down. I sat back down. He looked me right in the eye. I'll never forget this. He said, George, as I left the morning session, I was praying to God. God, give me a sign. Bring somebody in my life who I can talk with, who can work some things through with me to let me know if I should continue. I need somebody right now, Lord. And George, God sent you. You were that man. We believe God is sending us again, but more so than just with one pastor, with pastors throughout the nation. Let us sit with you and show you the way to hearing God clearly through a time of retreat. Now there's more coming in the next 2 or 3 days. We look forward to hearing from you signing up and moving forward and experiencing a full day retreat or a weekend retreat. Until next time, abide deeply in Christ.